Hi all, I am Dr. N. Baladastagiri. I welcome you to the course on digital design using Verilog HDL. So as we have seen in our introductory video, this course will be covered in three parts. Part 1 discusses the basics of Verilog HDL, followed by advanced concepts in part 2. In part 3, we will be writing a Verilog course for the digital circuits ranging from logic gates to application level. So as discussed in the introductory video, in part 1, the chapter 1 is overview of digital design with Verilog HD. So in this, the two concepts related to evaluation of computer aided digital design and emergence of HDLs will be discussed in this video. So let us look into them. So digital circuits. So digital circuit has become an emerging subject or emerging concept in the last 30 years. Earlier, these digital circuits were designed by using vacuum tubes or by using transistors. So when the circuits were designed by these vacuum tubes and transistors, there are many flaws. So we are not going in depth into them again, but the digital circuits implementation has been changed rapidly after the invention of integrated circuits. So what is meant by integrated circuit means where a number of active and passive components are placed on the single silicon wafer, or a number of transistors are placed on the single silicon chip, or a number of logic gates are placed on the silicon chip. So coming to the evaluation of these ICs, so the IC technology has been evolved into different integration technologies, that is SSI, MSI, LSI, VLSI. So SSI stands for small scale integration, where up to 10 number of gates are fabricated on the chip. Coming to the MSI, nothing but medium scale integration. Up to 100 number of gates are fabricated on the single silicon chip. Coming to the LSI, so which is nothing but large scale integration. So up to 1000 number of gates are fabricated on the silicon chip. So coming to VLSI, so which is nothing but very large scale integration. So more than 1000 number of transistors are fabricated, or 1000 number of gates are fabricated on the single chip. So as the technology progressed, on the same IC, millions and billions of transistors are fabricated. Now, what the need of our is, so coming to the LSI, that is the large scale integration, the more than thousands of gates are fabricated on the chip. So what the designers felt at this point of time is the designing process started getting very complicated, and they felt that there is a need to automate this process. Okay, so due to this, EDA techniques began to evolve. EDA techniques. So what is EDA? So EDA is nothing but electronic design automation. Chip designers began to use circuit and logic simulation techniques to verify the functionality of the building blocks whenever there are more than 100 number of transistors on the chip. These circuits were tested on the breadboard, and the layout was done on the paper or by hand on a graphic computer terminal. So for this, they have used CAD tools. So what is meant by CAD means computer aided design. Computer aided design tools. Technically, these CAD tools refers to the backend tools so that perform the functions related to placing and routing and layout of the chip. And there is one more term called as CAE. So CAE means computer aided engineering. So these CA tools refers to the tools that are used for the front end process. So that is the front end process in the sense like HDL simulation, logic synthesis, and timing analysis. So the tools which were used for this sort of front end applications, so they are called as CAE tools. The designers use the terms that is CAD or CAE interchangeably, but now the term EDA is used for both the CAD and CAE. Okay, so for the sake of simplicity, we can use these tools as EDA tools. Okay, so and moreover, with the advent of VLSI technology, so with the emergence of VLSI technology, so designers could design simple chips with more than 10,000 transistors on the IC. Because of the complexity of these circuits, it was not possible to verify the circuits on the breadboard. Okay, therefore, computer aided techniques became critical for the verification of VLSI digital circuits, and also they are become very important for the design of VLSI digital circuits. So I repeat that with the emergence of VLSI technology, so on the single silicon chip, there are more than 10,000 number of transistors. As the number of transistors were increased, so it is not possible. So nowadays, if you see, there are billions and trillions of transistors. So you cannot connect these transistors on a breadboard, and you cannot do the simulations. Okay, so it will be a problem. So therefore, the EDA tools have become very critical for the verification and design of VLSI digital circuits. And there is a need for computer programs to do automation placement and routing of circuits, and also circuit layouts, and also to become popular. So the designers were now building gate level digital circuits manually by using the graphic terminals. So by using the schematic editors, they would also build small building blocks, and even we are working on higher level blocks by using that smaller building blocks. This process would continue until the designers will build the top level logic blocks. So logic simulators came into existence to verify the functionality of these circuits before they were fabricated on the IC. And moreover, as the designs got larger and more complex, the logic simulations assumed an important role in the designing process. The designers could find out the functional bugs in the architecture before the chip was designed further. So this is the important thing, how there was a need for the evaluation of computer aided design tools. So next, after that, let us discuss the emergence of HDLs. How HDL languages. So HDL stands for Hardware Description Language. So let us see how this hardware description language emerged. So previously, programming languages such as Fortran or Pascal or C, so these were used to describe the computer programs. So and these computer programs are sequential in nature. So similarly, there is a need in the digital design field where the designers felt that a standard language has to be used in order to describe the digital circuits. So therefore, HDL languages came into existence. HDLs allowed the designers to model the concurrency of process found in the hardware elements. So instead of going for the sequential in nature, so they have followed the concurrency process where all the statements will be executed at the same time. We have majorly two types of HDLs. So one is Verilog HDL and second one is VHDL. Okay, so these were more popular, Verilog HDL and VHDL. So where VHDL stands for very high speed integrated circuit hardware description language. So Verilog HDL was originated in the year 1983 at Gateway Design Automation. Later, VHDL was developed under the contract from Defense Advanced Research Project Agency. So both Verilog and VHDL simulators are used to simulate the larger digital circuits. Because of these, so they quickly gained the acceptance from the designers. So even though they were very popular for the logic verification, so initial days they were popular for their logic verification, but the designers had translated the HDL based design into a schematic circuit with interconnections between the gates. So that means initially they were only used for the simulation purpose, but the process of synthesis is done manually. Okay, so with the advent of logic synthesis in 1980s, so with the emergence of the concept of logic synthesis in 1980s, the design methodology was changed radically. So digital circuits could be described at register transfer level by use of HDL, so which makes the process of synthesis very easy. Therefore, the designers had to specify how the data flows between registers and how the design process the data. The details of gates and the interconnections to implement the circuits were automatically extracted by using the logic synthesis tools from the RTL description. So which is making the life of synthesis very easy. So if you are not following the RTL description coding, in the sense means the synthesis will be very difficult. So therefore, this logic synthesis pushed the HDLs into forefront of the digital design. So designers now no longer should use manual placing of gates to build the circuits, and by using these HDLs, they could describe complex circuits in terms of functionality and in terms of data flow by designing those circuits in the HDLs. So logic synthesis tools would implement the specified functionality in terms of gates and interconnections. Okay, and moreover, HDL also began to use in the system level design. So HDLs later they were used in the system level design. HDLs were used for the simulation of system boards, interconnect buses, FPGAs, PLAs, and moreover, a common approach is to design each IC chip using HDL and then verify the system functionality via simulation. So today, Verilog HDL is accepted by IEEE standard. So in 1995, the original standard IEEE 1364/1995 was approved. So later it was revised in 2001. So that made the significant improvements to the standard Verilog HDL. So this is the things related to evaluation of CAD tools as well as emergence of HDL. So in the next video, we will be discussing the typical VLSI design flow. So until then, take care.